A single stone in Jerusalem hides a secret link to a people you've never associated with the city, and number 1 is something almost nobody guesses. Stay tuned as we count down the 10 most unexpected connections, and make sure you watch until the end. Surprisingly, the earliest water conduits beneath Jerusalem's hills were engineered by Canaanite craftsmen who mastered stone cutting centuries before the city's famed walls rose. These tunnels, carved into limestone, tapped subterranean springs and channeled life-giving water to the hilltop settlement, allowing a modest population to thrive in an arid environment. Researchers estimate the system stretched over several kilometers, featuring gradient-controlled channels that reduced erosion. The design mirrors other Canaanite sites across the Levant, suggesting a shared engineering tradition that traveled with migrating laborers. This hidden infrastructure not only sustained daily life but also facilitated early trade, as surplus water supported workshops and markets. The clever use of gravity flow remains a testament to early ingenuity, and it sets the stage for the next surprising link at number 9.
Archaeologists have uncovered a cache of silver ingots bearing markings identical to those found in Philistine workshops along the coastal plain, indicating a direct commercial partnership with Jerusalem's own silversmith guild. These artifacts, dated to the early Iron Age, suggest that Jerusalem supplied raw copper while the Philistines contributed refined silver, reflecting a reciprocal exchange that bolstered both economies. The guild seal, etched onto molds, appears on items recovered from a Jerusalem workshop, revealing that artisans traveled between the two regions, sharing techniques and styles. Such cross-cultural craftsmanship challenges the traditional view of Jerusalem as an isolated city-state, instead portraying it as a hub in a broader network of metal trade. This economic intertwining paves the way for the next link, which explores a shared artistic language at number 8.
In the layers of Jerusalem's southern quarter, shards of pottery bearing the distinctive red-black burnished glaze of the Hittite tradition have been identified alongside local Jebusite wares. The glaze technique, involving a controlled reduction firing, was rare in the Levant but flourished in Anatolia during the Late Bronze Age. Scholars believe itinerant potters introduced the method during trade expeditions, creating a hybrid style that blended Hittite motifs with local shapes. Chemical analyses show similar clay sources, indicating shared material procurement routes. This stylistic convergence suggests not only economic exchange but also cultural dialogue, where decorative symbols traveled alongside goods. The next fascinating connection, at number 7, uncovers how raw materials like obsidian linked Jerusalem to distant lands.
Few people know that microscopic traces of Anatolian obsidian have been found in excavation sites within Jerusalem's oldest layers, pointing to a trade corridor that spanned rugged mountain passes. Obsidian, prized for its sharpness, was sourced from volcanic fields in modern Turkey and transported via caravan routes that passed through the Transjordanian highlands. Spectroscopic studies reveal that up to 15% of stone tools in early Jerusalem were crafted from this non-local glass, implying a steady supply network. The presence of obsidian also hints at diplomatic ties, as such valuable material was often exchanged as tribute or elite gifts. This unexpected link demonstrates Jerusalem's integration into a wider exchange system, setting the stage for the next revelation about sacred trees at number 6.
Hidden among the hilltop shrines, remnants of cedar wood beams have been radiocarbon dated to the early Iron Age, suggesting that Jerusalem's inhabitants imported timber from the famed Lebanese cedar forests for ritual purposes. The cedar, renowned for its durability and fragrance, was reserved for sacred architecture and altars, symbolizing a divine connection between the city and the distant mountains. Ancient texts reference cedar offerings, and archaeological evidence shows that cedar planks were used to line inner sanctuaries, perhaps to amplify incense aromas. The trade of such prized timber required organized logging expeditions and river transport, underscoring a sophisticated logistical network. This botanical bond hints at shared religious symbolism, leading us to the next intriguing alignment of city gates with the heavens at number 5.
Recent surveys using satellite imagery have revealed that Jerusalem's original southern gate aligns precisely with the sunrise on the summer solstice, a design choice that mirrors practices observed in contemporary Near Eastern settlements. Builders likely employed simple gnomons to track solar movements, embedding cosmological significance into urban planning. This alignment would have marked the longest day of the year, possibly serving as a communal celebration or a calendrical marker for agricultural cycles. The intentional orientation suggests that early inhabitants possessed an advanced understanding of astronomy, integrating it into everyday architecture. Such sophistication dovetails with the discovery of seal impressions that reveal political connections, which we'll explore at number 4.
Even the smallest clay seal found in Jerusalem's administrative quarter bears a motif identical to those used by the Edomite kingdom across the Arava Valley. The impression, featuring a stylized lion trampling a star, appears on storage jars that once held grain and wine, indicating that Edomite merchants stored their goods within the city's warehouses. This shared iconography points to diplomatic agreements or mutual protection pacts, allowing trade to flow relatively unhindered despite occasional regional conflicts. Scholars argue that such seals functioned as early branding, assuring buyers of quality and origin. The presence of Edomite symbols within Jerusalem's bureaucracy underscores a level of political interdependence that many assume emerged only later, setting the context for burial customs that echo distant cultures at number 3.
Legend says that a series of shaft tombs discovered on Jerusalem's western outskirts mirror Egyptian burial customs, featuring limestone sarcophagi, false doors, and hieroglyph-like incisions. Radiocarbon dating places these tombs in the Late Bronze Age, a period when Egyptian hegemony extended into Canaan. The inclusion of canopic jars, small vessels for organ preservation, suggests that elite families adopted Egyptian funerary rites to signal status or alliance. While some scholars caution that similar features could arise independently, the convergence of material culture, burial orientation, and imported goods such as faience beads strengthens the case for direct influence. These practices reveal how Jerusalem's early elites engaged with powerful neighbors, a theme that continues with the next enigmatic artifact at number 2.
Remarkably, a limestone carving known as the Shepherd's Stone, depicting a lone figure with a staff, was uncovered near Jerusalem's ancient pasturelands and bears stylistic hallmarks of Amorite art from the early 2nd millennium BCE. The figure's exaggerated proportions and stylized clothing match motifs found on seals from the western Syrian plateau. Some researchers propose that Amorite nomads traversed the Judean hills, leaving behind such markers as territorial claims or devotional symbols. The stone's weathered surface suggests it stood exposed for centuries, gradually becoming integrated into local folklore as a protective talisman. This rare artistic link hints at a cultural diffusion that predates later Israelite narratives, and it paves the way for the ultimate revelation at number 1.
Finally, the massive basalt pillar standing at the heart of Jerusalem's earliest settlement bears a striking resemblance to Sumerian monumental columns discovered in southern Mesopotamia, both in dimensions and in the intricate incised bands that echo cuneiform-style motifs. While direct evidence of Sumerian architects traveling to Jerusalem remains speculative, the pillar's construction technique, using a combination of lever-based lifting and precise stone dressing, mirrors methods documented in Sumerian building tablets. Some scholars argue that the pillar may represent a symbolic conduit, connecting the city's founders to the revered cradle of civilization, thereby legitimizing their rule through architectural homage. This culminating connection underscores how Jerusalem's earliest inhabitants were not isolated but participated in a web of cultural exchange that spanned from the Levant to the distant plains of Sumer.
We've traveled from humble water channels to a massive pillar that may echo a distant civilization, showing how Jerusalem's early story is woven from many unexpected threads. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden ties, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next mind-blowing list we publish each week. Which connection surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.